looks like Ondo, Ekiti and Kwara states also have confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and they all border Kogi State to the west. Now, we're bringing the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, live, who will be talking to us on the preparedness of the state to contain the coronavirus. Your Excellency, thank you for talking to us tonight. Let's begin with your quick reaction to the loss of the former Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and good evening to viewers. The loss of the former Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Abba Kyari, is a great loss, very regrettable. His exit has left a big shoe. Very loyal, dedicated, patriotic, and very, very committed to this country, to the service of this country. We miss him, and we pray that may Almighty Allah accept his soul, and may his soul rest in perfect peace and give us the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
Well, his death, many say, is now an eye-opener for Nigeria and indeed every other state governor to pay more attention to what is happening as regards COVID-19. Your state, for instance, is yet to record its first case, but there are neighboring states that already have confirmed cases. What measures have you put in place to ensure that the situation remains the same?
Thank you very much. Let me quickly correct this narration. The death of Abba Kyari is not just an eye-opener. It's not just the first eye-opener. Ever since I came into office, we've been faced with a lot of epidemics, including Lassa fever and several others. And at any point in time, we learned a lot of lessons over the years of how to control epidemic. This one is called pandemic because we were made to believe that it's ravaging the whole world. And what we now did, as far as Kogi State is concerned, is leveraging on the knowledge we already acquired in controlling Lassa fever that is more lethal compared to Kogi State, the COVID-19, is to ensure that we enlighten ourselves. First, recruit the team that has always been controlling all these communicable diseases and enlighten ourselves about COVID-19. Once we are able to do that, then we went ahead to be proactively began to sensitize our people. Of course, public gatherings were prohibited, including telling our workforce to work from home and telling our students to return home in the meantime, and let's observe how things were going. And so far, so good. By our sensitization, the sensitization program that has been going on down to the grassroots, to every ward, is working very effectively. And hence, I thank all my colleagues and all the contiguous states, up to 10 across the country, who have succeeded in locking down. That has made us to be able to contain that in the state, and no one single case is reported, except the fake news. And those fake news we are following. We're not even taking any chances. We follow it to the letter to ensure that no case is established.
Bello, talking about locking down the state, how effective has that been, considering the compliance of your people? And what palliatives do you have on ground for people who are not finding that funny?
Thank you very much. Like I said, locking down, we in Kogi State, because we are at the center, a gateway between the north and south, every state around us has already locked down. So there is nothing to lock down anymore. And since there's no any confirmed case, and we are working around the clock to ensure that no case even escape into the state, there's no point locking down any further, because the fear factor in the COVID-19 already is demoralizing, making people to develop a high BP. So further telling them to stay back at home when there's no any case, and we have effectively monitor every persons that are passing through, including logistic vehicles that are crisscrossing the state. We are ensuring that as you cross the state, you are exiting. As we enter the state, we are exiting. So no one single case can ever come in here. So there's nothing more to do other than to continue to sensitize, maintain social distancing, clean our hand, and live a very hygienic life. And in addition to that, we introduce, aside my routine daily exercise, we ensure that the youths, the women, even the aged, engage in physical exercise almost every weekend.
Important very quickly, Governor Bello, I need to ask you as many questions as we can within the short period of time. The perception is that Nigeria is not testing enough, and that perhaps is what is keeping our figures relatively low. What is Kogi State's capacity to test suspected cases, and how many isolation centers do you currently have across the state?
Let me take it from the letter. We have 3 isolation centers in the state. That's number 1. Number 2, we don't have test center in Kogi State. Number 3, no case is established and no case can be established. So we have sample collection kits that we can take to FCT or Irua or even in Plateau State that are close to us. So we don't have that test center here. So coming to issue of testing, there's no time we can ever be able to test every citizen of one ailment or the other. When there is a sign, then we go into testing. But when there's no sign, how do we begin to test? It's like somebody is having a headache in his house and you're testing the other person too in the other house or along the street. So I think it is logic for us to continue to ensure that we prevent the spread of COVID-19 to the state, just like we've been able to manage Lassa fever that is more lethal, and we ensure that we contain it effectively in the state ever since we came into office. And applying that particular strategy and tactics, we are containing COVID-19 and taking it out of the country, out of the state effectively.
So there are reports that a particular financial institution gave Kogi State a huge amount of money. How much is this money and what is it being used for?
Oh, thank you very much. A whopping sum of 28.5 million naira was given to us. And not only that, I think some good-spirited individuals, including even a copper, donated 1 month allowance of his 1 month allowance of his own. So 28, effectively, I think I can say we're getting close, about 30 million naira thereabout. And so far so good, the Kogi COVID-19 squadron are managing this fund very well. And we intend that after COVID-19, by the special grace of God, just like we are used to doing, we shall publish the utilization of this fund to the last kobo.
Well, we hope that Kogi State stays COVID-19 free, and we wish you all the very best. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, thank you for talking to us tonight.